Inshallah that you are hearing my voice and you can see the presentation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and I hope that you're all in good health. We're going to start week 10's written TOEFL IBT, and we will start it in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah ta'ala. And for this week, I have put together more information on integrated writing task. We started it last week. Last week, I just did not want to give too much of information, but introduce it briefly and give you the homework. Based on the homework, I can see that you are on the right track, but it does not hurt to give more information. And let's see how you find this week's. And obviously, we will also do a practice and then end it with the homework. So more specific tips on integrating writing task. We are talking about writing essay. So whenever we write about writing essay, we need to make sure that our essay has correct structure. So I'll try to emphasize more on the structures, general, and then I'll try to this week give you examples what to write and what not to write. And hopefully this will be helpful for you. So introduction, for the introduction, we really need to create a general opening statement that has the ability to combine, put together the very main idea from both the reading passage and the listening audio, because this is what we are putting together, integrating two different into our writing task, which means that you need to highlight the key connections or relationship between these two sources, our reading and our listening. In the final statement or sentence of an introduction, you really need to show and indicate very briefly that you are going to be discussing in detail in the essay. You can say that how many parts you're going to be discussing, because this is going to be helping the assessor, the reader, that you are providing a nice, smooth link to the next paragraph. The main essay body should have clear structure. It should be divided into paragraphs. Generally, for integrated essay, they are expecting that you have to have minimum of 3 paragraphs. Unless if they're going to be emphasizing the length of the essay, and the length of the essay is shorter, but the body of your essay should have 3 paragraphs. This is where you're describing the core idea or the main idea that you obtained, you gained from the reading and from the audio. What is your understanding? You need to know that the basic paragraph skills should be well written. So paragraph 1, you should be starting it on a new line. Writing essay in a presentation, I find it very difficult because in presentation or in PowerPoint, uh, I believe that the presentation should not be very crowded, should have main points. But because we are talking about the essay, and I don't want to use too many slides, so sometimes I don't put a space in put an extra line between the paragraph. But when you're typing, you're writing, for you guys, you don't have that constraint. So please put a space between your paragraphs. So paragraph 1, we don't have to write paragraph 1 as a title. We don't have to say introduction. We don't have to say body. We don't have to say paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. This is, I am indicating to you guys. But for you, a statement is enough, and then putting a space, a line that tells the reader. So in your paragraph 1, you need to paraphrase the very first point of the lecturer, meaning you rewrite it differently. Yeah, this part will contain the lecturer's idea of the professor. You should compare the idea and contrast it with the reading. So the lecturer's first point is always about the first point of the reading article. So in your paragraph 1, that's what you're talking. If the lecturer agrees, then you need to write, the lecturer says this, the reading articles also confirms. If they are disagreeing, then you need to say that the lecturer says, and in contrast, the reading says this. So you need to use words that is going to be making it very much clear to the examiner, to the assessor, to the reader, what we are talking. You should be able to give some supportive logic and proper examples to balance the lecturer's point in your paragraph 1. Your examples should be coming from the content. In your paragraph 2, you're going to be moving on, and you once again, you're going to be paraphrasing, and you're going to go and paraphrase the second opinion, the second point. And once again, you're going to be comparing and contrasting to the reading article. And then you're going to be, paragraph 3, you're going to be going to the third point you're going to be doing. So notice it's very similar, but you need to do it in 3 separate paragraphs. You don't write just one paragraph and you just go blah, 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 point 1, blah, blah, point 2. Don't put it in one paragraph. So if in my feedback I say that your structure is weak, this is what I'm talking about. Writing the body, then obviously we need to have a conclusion. So here you need to jot down, you need to summarize. You're going to be giving a summary. It's very important that you state in the last line to show if the lecturer supported on how many points and disagreed on how many points. Because quite often that is what it is. The lecturer will always either, it's very seldom that the lecturer will support the reading article. Quite often it's a disagreement. If they agree, maybe on one point, but quite often it's not. But once again, you're summarizing it. So let's see. That was a general. So here on the next couple of slides, I've tried to put some real examples. And what I did, I picked up the last essay that you did. So at least we are not just going in general idea, because integrated has to be on something that either we have done it in the past or we're going to be doing it in the future. And this time I chose something that you're familiar. And these tips are on majority of the tips that I have put in. I try to put the tips on the introductions and on the conclusion, because that's where I find weakness. So it's a very bad way to say, I think the reading provides very good solution to protect the falcon. Because in the integrated task, we are not permitted to put our opinion. So we can't say, I think, we think. So this is why the sentence is not a good way to write in your essay. A better way to put that is, the reading and the lecture both discuss ways to protect peregrine falcon, while the author suggests several methods. The lecturer argues that these methods are not effective in the long term. So that's a very good introduction. It's not giving too much information, but it is telling us what is the main topic, and it also clearly says that the lecturer does not agree. And it's leading us to say we're going to be talking it more. So let's look at another example. Quite often we repeat word by word, that's not paraphrasing, is it? So a bad example. This is for a conclusion. In conclusion, the reading and the lecturer both discuss how to protect peregrine falcon, but the lecturer disagrees with the reading, because we've just copied word by word. A better one is, in summary, the lecturer challenges each of the author's point of view by showing that the proposed methods are unlikely to succeed in protecting the falcons. I could easily paraphrase this one even further. My point is in here that what I'm giving you is not, there's no one answer. We have got different ways of paraphrasing, and so long as we don't write the exact word and then we check our grammar and spelling, it should be fine. Let's look at another example of copying word by word. The passage states that peregrine falcons can be protected by saving their habitat, controlling predators, and treating injured birds. Because that's copied exactly from the reading articles. You could say the same thing, but paraphrasing. According to the reading, protecting habitats reduces predators' threats. Caring for the sick falcons could help increase falcons' population. This is why I've been working with you guys on paraphrasing, because ultimately that's what you really need to know in both integrated and for academic. Writing too long, repetitive versus too short in introduction. So I think I've not given you the too short, or it might be in the next one. I don't remember what I did or not. The topic of peregrine falcon protection is an important issue that has received much attention. The author of the reading proposes three major solutions, while the lecturer in the listening passage provides counter arguments that questions their effectiveness. This essay will summarize both points of view and discuss the difference between them. Very long introduction. Same information, how nicely and short it is in the example too. The reading and lecturer discuss ways to protect peregrine falcon. The lecturer, however, disagrees with the author's suggestion and provides reason why they may not work. And the next slide is that we should not use informal and personal language. In my opinion, the lecturer is right. I totally agree with the speaker, or I totally agree with the lecturer. I think the reading is wrong. I think the lecturer is wrong or wrong. Because remember, our opinion, we should not be using first person. We should not be writing about us, not integrated. A good way is the lecturer refutes the author's claim. I could easily say the lecturer challenges the author's claims by presenting several counter arguments, by providing if you don't want to use counter arguments, you could easily say that the lecturer disagrees with the author and presents very well arguments. Still is good, but I am hoping that you're going to be using academic and build your vocabularies. Move away from simple terminologies. On the next slide, I've given you a nice brief summary, what not to do and what to do. Personal opinion, an integrated essay is a no-no. We need to be neutral and we need to use academic tone. Copying the text from the reading word by word or from the lecturer, writing exactly the same thing is not accepted. Must do paraphrase. Long introduction, long conclusion is not. Make the lengthier one, your paragraph should be in the body. Have your introductions and your conclusion nice, sweet, short. Keep them only 1 to 2 sentences. Repetition should be avoided. You should not be writing exactly what you write in your introduction and then first paragraph is about the same thing. No, introduction is a summary, conclusion is a summary. Your body is, that's when you're going to be talking about each point. And so you could easily, if you don't want to start with the lecturer, you could start with the reading article, the first point. Then you could bring the lecturer. But quite often they are asking, in majority of the examples, the lecturer's point and then the the author or the reading article. New ideas in conclusion is not a good thing to do in any essay, because your conclusion is supposed to be summary. So you don't want to bring something completely new. And I think the biggest problem in here is when we forget and we write our opinion. So what we really need to remember is for the integrated, our opinion is not permitted to come in. If something that you decided not to put in point one and point two and point three, don't bring it in conclusion. Maybe the reading article at 4 point and you lift it. You don't talk about it in your conclusion. If some of the points are could be related, connected, interconnected, then you can't put both of them in one paragraph. But otherwise, it's better to have a paragraph for each point. So now what I have is an example. And this is about the olive trees. Your reading article should not take you no more than 3 minutes to read because you really need to look in and you're trying to take out the most important terms and terminology. One of my beautiful students sent me an essay this time for the homework and it was mind blowing. Why? Because the only one that did the planning, but the planning also is for, I didn't ask, but if you want to do it, that's perfectly fine. Because that is where the main points you take it out, you write those ones. Remember what I said, the reading article is going to be on the screen. They're not going to remove it. So don't waste your time on this. It will be there. Olive trees, which are a critical component of Mediterranean agriculture, are threatened by a bacterium which causes a disease called decline syndrome or QDS. This bacteria can quickly destroy the trees and has already devastated entire olive groves in Italy and Spain. There are several methods to protect olive trees from the quick decline syndrome or QDS, but the following trees are widely considered to be the most effective. Early detection of the bacteria is critical to preventing the spread of the disease. Farmers should regularly inspect their trees and look for signs of the disease, such as yellowing, withering leaves, dying branches, and slow growth. If a tree shows signs of infection, it should be immediately removed and burned to prevent the spread of the bacterium to the other trees. The government and agriculture's organization can also play a significant role in early detection by encouraging farmers to take part in this strategy. Promoting overall health of the olive trees is another effective strategy to prevent the spread of the bacteria. Trees that are in good health and are better equipped to resist infection and recover from disease. Proper irrigation, fertilization, and trimming are all essentials for promoting tree health. Farmers can also plant saplings that have shown some genetic ability to resist xylella, this disease. Since bacteria is transmitted to olive trees by sucking insects, mainly spittlebug, reducing the population of Such insect is crucial in controlling the spread of the disease. The most effective method farmers can use to control insect population is spraying chemical insecticides. An additional strategy is to introduce natural predators of insects such as ladybug, lacewings, wasps, which can help reduce their population over time. So this was the reading article. This week I tried to read it myself, and I didn't ask you guys to do the reading, but I'm happy if anybody wants to take parts in the examples of the reading sample essays that I've prepared for you. In the next slide, I have um, the audio, but we tried it last week that you won't be, if I play it, you're not going to hear it. But this week, when I share copy of this presentation, I will also I will I will also uh, share two uh, audios with you. So this slide and the slide for the onboard will be in one document. So when you receive it, please listen. I was hoping to share it a little bit earlier, but I got busy. Didn't have time. Future, I may share this, at least the listening, a little bit, a few minutes before the lesson. So now I'm going to go to example of an essay, but before I go to the example, I try to give you some planning. So I am giving you on this slide a summary of the main idea of the reading and summary of the lecturer's view. I know you haven't listened, you'll be listening it in future, but look how brief my summary is. The reading passage discusses the potential problem that olive trees can cause when grown in urban area. It represents three main arguments: that olive trees worsen air pollution, causes allergies in people, and are extensive to maintain. And then I've given a summary of the lecturer. However, the lecturer refutes each of these points, arguing that olive trees are actually beneficial for urban environment and that concerns in the readings are exaggerated or incorrect. So it would be good for you to have a summary of the two. And if you don't want to write sentences, have your summary as in the keywords. The way we talked earlier on as brainstorming. Just a couple of keywords that might be easier. Now it's the slide, and I'm going to come and see if anybody wants to read the essay. Yes, Malala, you just beat the queue. So your mic on. You will be reading the first slide, and then after that, I can see that Ismail Laziar has also put up his hand. There's going to be, I think there's two essay. I'll get each one of you to read the essay. So go ahead and start, please.
Sure. In the name of Allah, a sample essay. The reading passage and the lecture both address the effects of planting olive trees in cities, while the author claims that olive trees create several serious problems. The lecturer challenges each of these claims and argues that olive trees can, in fact, improve urban environments. First, the reading states that olive trees contribute to air pollution because they release certain organic compounds that combine with car emissions to form smoke. However, the lecturer counters that point by explaining that olive trees produce far less pollution than many other common urban trees. She adds that planting olive trees could actually reduce overall pollution because they are ev- um, evergreen and absorb carbon dioxide year-round. Therefore, their overall impact on air quality is likely positive, not negative.
Continue, please.
Sure. Second, the author suggests that olive trees cause severe allergies due to their pollen. In contrast, the lecturer argues that this problem is overstated. She points out that most cities now plant estrial or low pollen varieties of olive trees, which greatly reduce allergic reactions. Furthermore, she mentions that pollen levels in urban areas come mostly from grasses and other plants, not olive trees, so their contribution to allergies is minimal. Finally, the reading claims that olive trees are expensive to maintain because they require regular pruning and pest control. The lecturer refutes this idea by noting that olive trees are hardly drought-tolerant plants that need very little care once established. In fact, compared to other ornamental trees that require frequent watering or replacement, olive trees save cities money in the long term. In summary, although the reading passage lists several reasons why olive trees may be harmful in urban settings, the lecturer dis- uh, disputes, disputes each of these arguments and maintains that olive trees are a practical and environmentally friendly choice for city landscapes.
Well done. Thank you. So that was one example of essay based on the reading article, based on the lecturer's point of view. And on the next slide, I want you to read this one at your own time. So what I've done is I have given an analysis of the essay in terms of its organization that is clear into parts, paragraphs, body. Notice I want you to read that essay again. How there are certain words that are starting in the body that is telling the reader, telling the examiner that this is the first point, this is the second point. So, and also that they are also using appropriate language connecting when they are comparing. However, contrast, finally, therefore. So vocabulary and using correct vocabulary is going to be essential, very important for you. In terms of development, it's also provide nice and clear, and it's talking about it. It does not give personal opinion. So it's quite accurate based on the fact, and it sticks with the source of information. In terms of the length, it is around 280 words, and it is very ideal for TOEFL, because for TOEFL, quite often I'm asking you is also 280 to 300, but even to up to 250 or going to 300 is a it's fine. But if you write below 250 or over 300, then they would be looking into penalizing. So I have the second sample, and I believe it was Mr. Ziar. Go ahead, please.
Second, the author suggests that olive trees cause several allergies due to their pollen. In contrast, the lecturer argues that this problem is overstated. She points out that most cities now plant sterile or low pollen varieties of olive trees, which greatly reduce allergic reactions. Furthermore, she mentioned that pollen levels in urban areas come mostly from grasses and other plants, not olive trees, so their contribution to allergies is minimal. Finally, the reading claims that olive trees are expensive to maintain because they require regular pruning and pest control. The lecturer refutes this idea by noting that olive trees are hardy, drought-tolerant plants that need very little care once established. In fact, compared to the other ornamental trees that require frequent watering or replacement, olive trees save cities money in the long term. In summary, although the reading passage lists several reasons why olive trees may be harmful in urban settings, the lecturer disputes each of these arguments and maintains that olive trees are a practical and environmentally friendly choice for city landscapes.
I'm going to get you to read the next slide too, but I have a feeling that I mixed up. This slide should have been first. That slide should have been first, but that's okay. And reading wise, you can read, please.
Uh, the reading and the listening are about olive trees. The reading says olive trees are not good for cities. It says they make air pollution, make people sick with allergies, and cost a lot of money to take care of. The professor in the listening disagrees with this. She says olive trees are good and not bad like the reading says. First, the reading says olive trees make the air dirty because they make some gas that mixes with cars. The professor says it is not true. She says olive trees help clean the air and makes it better. So this point is not correct. Second, the reading says olive trees make people have allergies from pollen, but the professor says it is not a big problem. She says there are new olive trees that do not have much pollen, so they do not make many people sick. Third, the reading says olive trees cost a lot because you need to work on them many times, but the professor says olive trees are easy to care for. They don't need too much water or cutting, so they are not expensive. In conclusion, the reading thinks olive trees are bad for cities, but the professor thinks they are good. She gives good reasons that show the reading is wrong.
Thank you very much. So once again, I do have an analysis. I want you to read it at your own time. We will. I'm sure that you're going to be having plenty of time to check. I do have a third one. If anybody wants to read, I'm just going to come and check to see. Okay. I see two people have put their hands up. So what I might going to do is I'm going to get Shafi. I will get you to read one slide and I will get Safia to read the second slide this time. And then we will talk about the homework. So please, Shafi, start please.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Um, First, the author suggests that early detection of the virus is the key to stopping it. According to the article, farmers can watch for disease trees and immediately destroy them before the virus spreads to another trees. The government can encourage them to do this. The lecture challenges this suggestion. He says that constantly inspecting trees is expensive and time consuming. Moreover, by the time we spot a disease tree, the virus has already spread to the other trees. Next, the author says that promoting the overall health of olives trees is an effective solution as they are more able to resist diseases. This can be done through proper timing and irrigation, and also through planting spellings that are designed to resist the virus. The lecturer calls this into question as well. He noticed that his that this won't grant this won't grant protection as even healthy trees become infected. Thank you.
Thank you. And Sophia, if you can read the last slide, please. I think it was Sophia, wasn't it? Yes, Sophia's are done. Start, please.
Okay, simple AC continued. He also notes that genetically resistant saplings can be very expensive for farmers to purchase. Finally, the article suggests spraying insecticides to stop the virus as it is often spread by insects like spittlebacks. Natural predators like wasps and ladybugs can also be used to control their populations. The lecturer, however, says that insects gradually adapt to insecticides, so they won't help in the long run. Not only that, but natural predators might just fly away to a place where they aren't needed. It is hard to tell when this has happened since olive groves are in rural areas.
Thank you. So I've given you three essays of the same topic and their analysis that you're going to read it. Inshallah, at your own time. Please revise. Don't jump into the homework. I want you to really review the examples, the do's and the don'ts, and then the three essay. See what you learn from that. But in terms of your homework for this week, week 10, I have a reading article. I don't think that we're going to be having time to read it, and I want you to read it at your own time. It is coming from TOEFL website. This is not something that I have fabricated. So all the examples that I am giving you are from TOEFL websites. So read the article. See if there's any word that you don't understand. I suggest try to find the meaning of those words, because that's where you're going to be building your vocabulary. In the last one that you were reading, there were some words that I could see that you were struggling. I didn't want to emphasize in here. Try to go to an English to English dictionary and see if you understand the meaning of it. Please avoid using English to Dari, English to Pashto. You're not going to, it's not going to help you. And luckily nowadays, you have your phone. Just put the word and see what it is in English. As I said, please avoid translating words that you don't know to mother tongues. That's not going to help you. So read the article. It's on 2 slides. The lecturer's point of view is going to be there. So I want to see whether you can read the article and have a summary. Listen to the recording and then see if you can also have some summary of that. Then go into planning your essay based on the advice that I've given you today. I think you're going to be doing outstanding this time. But what I really want is I want more participation. Because participation is slowed down. Only a number of you are submitting, the rest are not. And if you really want to benefit, put some time aside, do this. You will be fine. Only one student asked me if I could provided more information on academic writing. So what I might do is I might do one more integrated, and then I may go back to spend 1 week on academic again, and maybe I will try to break it down the way I did for this lesson, try to give more examples of the do's and the don'ts. Maybe then it will fill up the gaps. If you liked the style that I did this week, just let me know. Provide me feedback. I'm happy to consider doing whatever I can in this space to help you guys. Because remember, already we are in week 10 and we don't have that many weeks left. We're going to finish soon. I get very emotional whenever my classes are finishing. So I get attached to each and every one of you. But I understand this is what life is. But I am at your service. It doesn't mean that the class finish. And after the class finish, if you still want to keep in touch and you want to write something and you say, can you just proofread? Can you do this for me? I will always have time for you guys. So with that, I will end the lesson. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you all safe, sound, and bring love, harmony, peace in your heart, in your life, and in our country. And may the peace that is suddenly occurred finally in Gaza, may it really continue, because I guess we have all know that it's very difficult to trust the predators. So with that, keep us all in your prayers. You're all in my prayers, and please pray for all the Muslim Ummah, and especially for each and every one of you. Never lose hope. Always connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there's nothing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not do for you, for me, for all of us. Until next Wednesday, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you all safe and sound. And very quickly, I will go and I'll share the presentation and everything's on Telegram, because I noticed that our lovely assistants are very busy. I understand. It's okay. I'll do it, but so long as you will have access. If there's something wrong, reach out. And I think Malala is doing outstanding. She quickly goes back and answers questions or does whatever magic that she has. Khuda Hafiz.